Hello everyone, it's Kat and I'm back today to do something that I have been meaning to do for a long time and I feel really embarrassed about this. It's like my hidden shame. But yesterday I think it was, I got a new Pixi PR package in the mail and I opened it up and I'm like, oh, that's, lovely. Thank you, Pixi. And a big thank you to Pixi and thank you for tolerating my BS. I'm just going to say that in ahead of time. So in this there is a pink cream blush and a pink lip glow. So they're saying like, pink and cool. And then I went and put it on a pile that is under my desk. That, again, this is the elephant in the room. This is my secret shame. I'm going to show you this pile. It's embarrassing. I had to zoom out the frame a little bit. This is very heavy, but I went to go do this and I thought, I actually have to start using this stuff and let you know what it's like. Oh my God, it's so bad. I'm really embarrassed. So let me explain what this pile of Pixi is. So I'm obviously on Pixi's PR list and they tend to send things without notice. And the reason why that is difficult for me is because I sort of plan content, not content in advance, but like I plan when I can film. And so I like brands that say to me, hey Kat, we've got this collection coming up. Do you want me to send it to you? And if I have no time coming up, I'll say, looks great, but unfortunately I don't have the time. Pixi just comes unannounced. So what I tend to do is, like, for example, this was an example of a PR package that I was very excited about. I shared it on TikTok. Because it's got some cool Pixi products in here, which I'll use, but it also has a personalized wax stamp. So some of their PR parcels are really cool. So this has a K on it. It's one of those cool wax stamps that fancy people put on letters. It's got the Pixi green wax. You can melt it. And it's such a cool gift. And I was like, okay, I'm going to post about it. It's awesome. But then I didn't have the time to actually use the product and I just put the box away. And that's what happens with things occasionally. But I need to clean out the clutter under my desk. I need to recycle these boxes and I need to put some of these products to use. So I've seen this parcel, but essentially I'm going to take all the products out of it. This spray is lovely. I love their sprays. They're makeup fixing mists. They're different mists. I love them. This is a vitamin C themed box. So this is more skincare, so I won't be using it so much today. There is an under-eye brightener, which I might try underneath my makeup. Again, a beautiful, I love these makeup mists. They're such great makeup mists. I've used a bunch of them in the past. I'm doing a Project Pan sheet mask thing, so they'll be added to that. This one with the beautiful berries, this is an antioxidant pack. So it's got, I haven't tried this and I actually should, the antioxidant tonic. It's this green, beautiful bottle. Oh, you can tell it's my color. I love green. So it's a blueberry and birch water. So I'll try that. And see, again, they're really great with their little like extra things. These are reusable little cotton pads, which I love. I love using these. I use it with micellar water. I use it with a bunch of stuff. So that is a great addition. This miscellaneous one, what's inside? Oh, we got some makeup. Here we go. We're going to be trying these today. This one with the beautiful purple flowers. Oh, this is a bit different. So this is an overnight thing. So we have a mask. I don't tend to wear these, but they do feel very nice. Dream-yEYE patches. So these are replenishing PM patches. I'm gonna have to start using that. I'm gonna put one of these on actually, to be honest. I love the purple lid. I like the sort of the distinction between day and night. I know it's not nighttime at the moment, but whatever, let's try this. There's a little applicator that just sits inside. You lift off this part. There's, whoa, dripping. Uh-oh. There's 30 pairs of eye patches in here and you just lift them up with this little spatula. This is a very effective way to have eye masks. And you plop it on. Oh, that's super cooling. That's very nice. I'm going to have these on while I finish going through the products. Let's get the second one. This is actually very satisfying picking it up. It's like, just sort of peel it off. This packaging is so much better than just like the one-use one. So I'm just going to keep that on. I love the packaging of this. This is that dreamy mist and it's an overnight mist. So you can apply it to your face before you go to bed or your pillow. It's not bedtime, but oh yeah, there's a bit of like herbal scent. It smells very earthy, but it's not too over the top lavender because lavender for me can be really missing, give me a headache, but this is quite nice. I like that. Another one, this one has a bunch of makeup. I think this is the one that sort of started the pile because I was going to review all of these products and I just never got around to it. And the last one, which I think was a Christmas or New Year's gift, and I've got another one of these, so they're really beautiful, but it's the Glow Tonic customized giant bottle, so I tend to keep those. They're really nice. So that is my Pixie shame, and we're going to fix things today. All right, let's get this party started with the under eye brightener. Now when I swatch this, it is sort of like, ooh, peachy. Is a little bit peachy, is quite glowy. It doesn't add like any coverage, it just adds a bit of dewiness. Okay, I definitely applied way too much because I had to sort of like sweep it all the way down my face. But it gives this sort of wet, dewy, cushiony sort of feel, but it does on me look quite, I feel like I look quite dark. So obviously it's something that you put under your makeup. Another thing you put under your makeup, the Flawless Beauty Primer. It says Hydrating Radiance Primer adds a radiant looking glow for all skin types. It's a really light shade, but again, it doesn't need to match your skin tone perfectly because it is just something that's supposed to add a bit of glow underneath your makeup. Let's have a look. It is a lot lighter than the under eye brightener, but it is very shiny. So Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is sort of like the Pixie version of it, but it only comes in sort of one shade. Luckily the shade suits me quite well, but it doesn't seem to add coverage, just that shine's supposed to obviously add a lot of luminosity. So this is very shiny. Obviously I don't have a foundation, so if there's any gaps I'm going to be reaching for my Project Pan products, and I've got my Fenty. This is the Blur and Smooth Tint Stick. This isn't super high coverage, so I'm just going to be using a little bit to counteract a bunch of my discoloration and redness, but I do want mainly Pixie to be the star of the show. Okay, I am finding that this foundation is fighting with the primer, which is not great, sort of balling up on it. So I did manage to blend that out. There is a bit of fighting, and that is just simply because this is water-based and this is silicone-based. They do not mix. So if you have that issue, you want to find things that mix well. So ideally you want your primer and your foundation to both be silicone-based, both be water-based, both be oil-based, whatever happens to be, but when you do have water and silicone, not the best. I'm really excited to try this CC Crayon because I don't have any peach correctors, but I don't get enough sleep, so I blame kids for that. That's fine, that's a temporary thing. But I have been wondering how a peach sort of corrector would work in my daily routine. This one is not super pigmented, so if we turn the brightness down a little bit, you can see that it's sort of not really building up super well on the skin, which is fine because it's not supposed to be a really bold color. It's just supposed to slightly correct, which I think it is doing. Let's put some on here. Let's see if it can correct my breakout. I tend to have like sort of purplish sort of color on my chin, which I'll try to correct a little bit as well. So you can see the peachy color here, but obviously it's not the most opaque. It's not supposed to be, but it is just adding a little bit of correction. And I'm going to go over with some concealer. So I've got my Mecca Max Life Proof Cream Concealer in the shade 200. This is a little bit light for me. It's super pigmented, so I'm going to use just the smallest amount. I don't want it to overwhelm what we're doing here. And because my foundation was fighting a little bit, I'm going to put a little bit there and just blend it. It's super creamy. I really like this concealer. But you can see how the corrector is just supposed to minimize some of that purple color under your eyes, underneath whatever you're putting on. Everything's looking nice and dewy, which is lovely, and corrected, which is nice. Most of the sort of problematic areas are being hidden, but it's not too much coverage, which is great. I'm going to go in with a powder. This powder is It's like, if you didn't see the sticker at the bottom, it is so incognito. Like, you can't tell what it is besides the Pixi green. I'm really curious about these powders. I've had some bad luck with the By Terry hydrating loose powder, so I'm hoping this is better. So this is a very fine white powder. I'm just going to use the smallest amount, firstly because I'm putting sort of a cream product on the cheek, so I don't want to set it, but I do need to set the concealer under my eyes, otherwise it can sort of migrate into lines. These sort of really fine white powders, I find that you have to use them very, very sparingly, otherwise they can really dry out your base. So I'm getting the smallest amount. I'm not even tipping much of that out, like that's clean. I'm just getting whatever I can pick up from the holes, which is sort of like this amount, and just mainly focusing it on where I get oily. Things are looking a little bit cakey around here, but I think that might be the primer and the foundation sort of fighting. All right, onto some fun parts of the color. I'm going to start with this Sheer Cheek tint. It is such a dark shade. It's a really beautiful berry shade. So I'm coming into sort of winter months, so this is a really great sort of shade to play with. But I do find these quite scary. I have tried a bunch in the past, usually that really watery consistency, like the Benefit one, and they can set really quickly and look really patchy on the skin. This one feels a little bit more like a gel, so it actually has more slip to it, so I feel like it's going to move a bit better. I just want to point out that these two products I'm not going to use. I'm going to pass on to someone else who will use them because I don't quite like that bubblegum pink. It's not a color I tend to go for. But you can see it's like a blackberry sort of jam color. I'm going to start with a brush because that's what I want to see how it goes. It is very sheer and it already looks like it's sort of disrupting my base and my hair, stop it. This bit of hair, I'm going to chop you off. All right, just picked up a little bit more on my finger because I do feel like this is the best method without getting sort of like stipply brush marks. This is a very pretty, on me it's looking quite almost purple, but that's because I feel like blushes on me tend to lean quite purple, so not something I'd normally go for, but I really do like it. I'm going to bring it to here a little bit more just so I can sort of see it front on. Not too much hassle applying, just I find fingers are better than brush, but you can see it's like this beautiful sort of jelly cheek. On this side, I do want to play with this and I'm going to decide what effect I want to go for. It's probably going to be a combination just to even it out. But I really like their powder shimmery blushes. I've had a couple in the past that are very bright pink. This is a lot more peachy. And I've really enjoyed them. One, I think I hit pan on. Another one I accidentally broke. Oh, this is quite pigmented. Just getting the excess off of my brush so I can blend it. I really like their powder blushes. I think they're really beautiful and this is no exception. This is one that sort of has that beautiful peachy orange base, but then it's got a sheen to it, which is like a all-in-one blush highlighter, and I love that effect. So that shine just is beautiful on the cheekbones. It's not too much. See, this is more something I'd normally gravitate towards. This is a bit different, but I like them both. I find blush like this is just easier to apply personally. Which one do I use? A mix. All right, so I've just applied both and I'm just using my foundation brush to tone it down a little bit because I have gone overboard. I do have to say it is so much easier to apply the gel over a powder than it is to apply a powder over a gel, just because you can risk it being sort of like clinging to the gel areas. Eyes are going to be really simple. We're using this one sort of cream eyeshadow. I think it's called the Pixie Lights and it's in the shade Crystalline. Now I love a sort of sheer twinkle on the lid, so this is exactly the sort of effect that I like. I don't quite like this icy white so much, but it is definitely pretty. So you could definitely layer this over an eyeshadow. I'm just going to blend it out because I want more of that sort of just nude twinkle effect. And these, it's very pretty, I have to say. If this was like a champagne gold, I think I would love it more personally, but I understand why this is a thing. It is gorgeous. You do get a bit of working time, so I can feel that it is still a bit tacky and a bit wet. I've tried a few Pixi eyeliners before. I really like them, but I haven't tried their liquid, so let's do it. This is a sort of very long sponge applicator, so it's not a brush, but it is one of those things that you can potentially, if you wanted to, do a bit of a stamp if you wanted a bit of a guide. These days when I want a bit of definition but I don't want anything too major, I tend to just stop there. So I will do my wing, I will bring it in, I'm just tidying it up. I'll bring it in and then I will sort of peter it off at the top point of my eye. That was a very easy liquid liner to use. It was very black and very easy to apply, so that was very nice. I'm going to go in with the mascara. Typical wand, but look, typical often works. All right, this mascara is way too natural for me. It looks a little bit like a mascara that will lengthen slightly, separate, but doesn't add much volume. Like, this is 2 coats and I was like really struggling for it to sort of build on itself. It's beautiful on the lower lash line. So if you do want a more subtle lower lash line, you don't like the really clumpy lower lash line, this is a really nice lower lash line mascara, but for me it's a bit natural for the top lashes. All right, I'm just going to put a little bit of brow powder through my brows. So we've got the clear brow gel, but nothing with too much color. And I really like a clear brow gel to set a powder, because powders can sort of transfer and move throughout the day. All right, brow gel time. I don't like a clear tube. Like, they look cool, but if you use a brow powder or a pomade or a pencil, inevitably that clear tube is going to turn brown and it's gonna look gross. So I much prefer my clear brow gels to have an opaque packaging, but that's just me. I understand that they do look very appealing when they're clear. I'm going to try both lip products. I'm going to start with the lip gloss. It's a beautiful mauvey color. I think it also smells like, it smells like toothpaste essentially. So this is a My Lips But Better color. If I am going to go sort of a pinky nude, it's going to be a bit of mauvey tones to it. This is a perfect example of a lip gloss that I would wear, just throw it on in the car, just to look put together. It gives a lot of juiciness to the lips, not too much pigment where you feel like if you apply it unevenly, it's gonna look a bit funny. You don't have to worry about it looking patchy or wearing down patchy. Super shiny. It's got no shimmer in it, so it's just that like creme sort of jelly effect. Super slippery, not tacky. It does have a minty sort of vibe, but it's not, doesn't feel plumping, like it doesn't feel tingling. It's just that they put like a toothpaste minty scent in it, which not my favorite, but at least it gives you a fresh breath, I suppose. I don't want to take that off. I really love that. That's beautiful. But we have to. This is the LipFix Satin Lip Tint in the shade Adore. And I do adore an orange tone red, so let's do it. This is quite sheer. So it's got a really sort of like wet but moussey sort of consistency to it. And it's not fully opaque on the lips, but if you do build it up like I've just done there, you can get a sort of nice bold color, and it does apply evenly. So whether you apply it more sheerly or whether you apply it with another layer, it does look nice and even, but it's not, it doesn't blank out the lips completely. It does dry down. So it's looking more velvety at the moment, which is really pretty. I'm going to finish this off with one of the mists. This is the Vitamin Wakeup Mist. This is Orange Blossom and Citrus Extract, which you know is I'm a fan of. The mixture of these are really nice. Oh, that just smells like a cocktail. I really love these. Not only does this feel really nice and hydrating and beautiful, but if you have like overpowdered your base, for example, this just adds hydration back into it, and it often can make sort of a cakey or sort of powdery base come back together and sort of meld with your skin a little bit better and look a little bit more sort of skin-like. I love this. This is probably one of my favorite products from Pixi. I also really like the Makeup Fixing Mist. This has rose water and green tea, and bugger it, we're trying this one as well. Let's get it pumping. Oh, so refreshing. they are saying that these do slightly different things. So this one you can put on before makeup. It extends the makeup wear. You can also apply it after makeup to set and add a soft focus finish. And you can apply it anytime to refresh your makeup or hydrate or balance. Whereas this one, you can put it on before your moisturizer as a toner step, after makeup to add hydration, or anytime to refresh and sort of wake up the skin. This one is my personal favorite, but they're both very nice and my skin feels lovely. So from the final look, I like everything. Everything looks quite nice on camera. Everything applied quite well, but I think there are some standouts and some products that I don't really see worth the effort. The things I don't see worth the effort, firstly, the mascara for me is too natural. I think if I wasn't wearing winged liner, I would be like, okay, this is fine for a really sort of natural eye look and just something to define your natural lashes. But for my preferences, this is too natural. Nice for the under eyes, but not great for the top lash line. I also didn't really see any point of this under eye brightener. I might play around with this more as like a skincare routine step, but it was quite peachy. It was quite dewy, which is fine, but I just don't feel like it added much to the final look, or whatever, it was another layer. The things I did like the most, I'm gonna say, obviously the sprays. I love the sprays. I've loved them for a long time. The only reason I don't use them regularly at the moment is because I've got a graveyard of other sprays that I'm using, but I would totally buy these with my own money. I've used them before. I really enjoy them. I'm looking forward to trying the overnight one a bit more. I also really like their little tub of eye masks. This is such a great way to use eye masks fairly regularly. I like eye masks. I do find I get sort of puffiness under my eyes. So this is something that I would use maybe twice a week. And the fact that you've got 30 here in one tub, I think is fantastic. I also really like the lip gloss. I'm kind of bummed that I was left with this because I like this effect. It's a beautiful color. It's a beautiful sort of velvety finish. It looks really gorgeous, but there was something about this lip gloss that I just think looked naturally really sort of plump and beautiful and feature enhancing. The color was great. The shine was great. Everything was great. Do I take this off? All right, apparently this is not easy to take off, which is a good thing. I just got a tissue and it did not want to come off, but let's just mix the two together. The products I'm intrigued to play around with more are definitely the blush, because I think that was a gorgeous sort of highlight blush effect. It's a beautiful sort of peachy tone. I also really like the tone of this. I think it's going to be great for winter. I think when my skin's feeling quite dry and I'm powdering less, I might apply this sort of jelly cheek. And I'm really interested in this corrector because I don't use correctors often, so I really want to play around more with this and see, does it make a difference if I put it on half the face and not the other? Does one side look more bright? I'm just really curious. So these ones I'm sort of intrigued to play around with more. Probably this as well. I think this is a beautiful sort of one and done, very easy, twinkly, natural eye. I have to say a huge thank you to Pixi for putting up with my bad behavior when it came to PR. I very much appreciate all the parcels. Just life is very hectic. So let me know if you've tried these products before or what you think about them as I was using them. And a huge thank you to my members for supporting my channel. I'll talk to you all in the comments section. Bye.